Peru just legally identified LGBT transgender people as mentally ill according to their laws. And so now anyone who is transgender in Peru will now be legally classified as mentally ill. Which, if you guys don't know, Peru is a country where I'm from in South America. And it's very, very beautiful to see them progressing in this way, in the sense of that they're actually putting God first. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can watch this video together because it's going to be really interesting.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for a second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. Peru has established a new group of people considered to be mentally ill. Transgender, intersex, and non-binary people are now officially in that category in that country. The president of Peru signed off on the law last week. According to the state's health ministry, the decision was made to guarantee full coverage of medical attention for mental health for the transgender community, which should also note people in LGBTQ plus community as a whole will not be forced to do conversion therapy, meaning make them straight. Joining us to talk about it, therapist Dr. Bernadette Smith, Ryle Williams from the Urban Conservatives of America, and Barbie Braxton, a model and local member of the Houston LGBTQ community, transgender community. So, Barbie, first of all, your thoughts on this when you hear Peru saying individuals who may be transgender and other categories may have mental illness.
They gotta speak for people. You can't say who's mentally ill. It's not just everybody from being straight to first off, let me slow down. Heterosexual people, LGBTQ plus IA community. Everybody has a mental illness within those groups of people. So you can't just automatically say because someone's trans or intersex or.
You guys just saw her or him or whatever this thing is, this demon. You guys just saw them like stutter right there. Like they're a little, or was that just me? Okay.
Anything is automatically mentally ill.
All right, Ron, let's hear from you. Your thoughts on this from the Peruvian government.
I think that it was a great decision. I think that, it kind of speaks for itself. Studies show that people who are transgender, for instance, in Sweden, they did a study, they're 6 times more likely to have to take, anxiety medication. 3 times more likely when they're transgender to have to take antidepressants. So that kind of speaks for itself. When you go against God's order and you begin to try to live a lifestyle that he didn't create you to live.
God didn't make that.
God didn't make what?
God, we've been here since forever. So you can't go and bring God into this and say what God made when God didn't make that.
Do you believe?
The Bible was a book that was written. If you want to go there.
Let's not even get into that.
You took it there when you said about when you brought up God.
We're talking about whether or not transgenderism is a mental disorder.
Like I stated, everybody from every
talking...
community has mental illness. It's a lot of transgender people, intersex people. I'm a transgender woman. I'm a transgender woman. I'm a transgender woman. I'm a transgender woman. Stop trying to disrespect me and be real to me, because we can really take it there.
And what
if you want to.
I'm feeling male vibes right now.
I don't care, and I'm feeling feminine vibes and tacky vibes. Look at you. So you sit here talking this all great.
So guys, hey, look, we're going to do one at a time, or we're going to move on. Dr. Smith, let's bring you on.
Go ahead.
So what becomes important is, one, we have to be able to respect people where they are. And the other thing, we talked about this before, people will take a statistic, and because they don't understand how to properly read the statistics, that's how then you infer improper information. So when we're looking at statistics and where people in the LGBTQI community are more susceptible to things such as anxiety and depression and suicide, is because they're living in a society that does not allow them to be their full versions of themselves.
That's not true.
Can you imagine how challenging it would be if somebody said, you can no longer wear your glasses and now you have to function in society without it? That's going to create a level of anxiety, because then, yes, you're right. Studies do show.
1 second. We'll let you
You're
run.
right.
1 second.
Studies do show
The reason why that is, guys, is because their identity is not in Jesus Christ, and they need their identity in Jesus Christ and not the things of this world. So, whenever you're, and this isn't just for transgender people, but especially for them, whenever you look at anyone in the world that tries to find their identity in anything, whether it's getting a bunch of tattoos, whether it's getting piercings, whether it's becoming sexually immoral, whether it's finding their identity in money, I mean, you can find your identity in a lot of different things, right? And some things aren't bad. For example, there's nothing wrong with earning money, but the issue is when you have your identity in money and you earn the love of money. But there are certain things that are just inherently bad, such as sexual immorality, like watching pornography or having same sex desires. Like those are just inherently bad. So there are just things in this world where people find their identity in, and the issue is because they're finding their identity in the things of this world and not the things of Jesus Christ. And this is the reason why transgenders and other people within the LGBTQIA plus community are actually mentally ill. And this was a thing that was known as a fact since like the 1970s. But as of recently, because of money, because of propaganda, because of political power and things of that nature, and the fear of, what people are going to say, a lot of politicians have just become very soft on the subject, but it's a real mental illness. And I think it's really such a beautiful thing that Peru has passed legislation to say that trans are mentally ill. It's not in a way to actually like put them down, guys. You guys don't understand. It's actually in a way to help better them. Because if we realize that they're mentally ill according to our nation, then guess what? We can actually give them the medical treatment they need by professionals so that they don't have to go through conversion therapy and have this whole hatred and grudge towards, some church or some kind of community that's trying to help them out. But they can actually get professional treatment from a psychiatrist, from a doctor, the medication they need in order for them to be able to be who God intended them to be, the male or woman that they're made to be, not some kind of trans or non-binary individual who's confused on their sexuality. So I think it's a very beautiful thing that they are labeling them as mentally ill so that they can get the help that they need at a very affordable or free price.
That people who are in the LGBTQI community are more at risk for anxiety and depression because of the community and society at large. However, those who do have the opportunity to be in their full version of themselves and have the support and love do not experience those things to that degree. And so being able to say, what does it matter? At the end of the day, what does it matter how somebody decides to live their life? Because it should not impact you.
All right. And Raul, that question to you, why should it matter to you how somebody lives their life?
Why would it?
If it doesn't impact you?
Well, it's a number of reasons. You can go and look at studies from Professor McCall from Johns Hopkins University. He shows that transgenderism, and he's a psychiatrist, he shows that it is a mental disorder. It's not something to where it's just something that they you can do and it's okay, and you can try to convince yourself that you're something that you're not. You are a man. If you're born with a penis, you're a man.
There's a
that
lot.
simple.
First off,
There's a lot of misinformation in regards to.
I'm not done.
I'm not done.
He pointed at me. I never said that I was a woman.
Wrap it up, Raul, and then we'll go to Barbie for the closing response.
Studies show that people who are transgender from Johns Hopkins University, this in HCC,
And studies
it
also
shows
show
that they are
black
20
people were
times
less
more
than.
likely to commit suicide.
All right. Go ahead, Barbie.
You gotta say that.
20 times. But you hold on, because you spit a little bit, so just chill out.
20 times.
Okay, hold on. You're going
You're
going off a study, but you don't know. You can't speak for people. You cannot speak for people just because you're intimidated and everything, and you're trying to down talk me. You totally wrong.
I'm giving you the facts.
You're giving me. You're not giving facts. You're giving a study. You're giving a study. You're not giving facts.
I'm giving you
But if
facts.
you're not,
I ain't even bringing
You're not.
You're providing.
You're not. You tried to though.
No.
You tried to.
That's the basis on which I believe.
You tried to.
I ain't bring it there
You
yet.
tried to. You tried to bring God
We
into
want to
it
thank you
though.
guys. Obviously, this will go on and on and on.
It will.
Still, She's like, it will. Really quick. Let's give her the last word, John.
So
Go ahead,
I
John.
would just like to say that there are people who love and support, and there's also people who will be able to provide support and love for all people, LGBTQI included, and to not focus your attention on the small few, the loud minority of people who are not loving and accepting.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Still.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's the difference between me and people in the alphabet community is that I actually love them. And because I love them, I can actually tell you guys that you guys are mentally ill. And I say that out of a place of love because a lot of you guys literally need medication. It's like me saying, you know what, I'm an amputee or someone has cancer, right? Some guy named Jose has cancer. Okay, bro, Jose, you can't get healed from cancer if you don't know you have cancer, right? So you literally have to be diagnosed with an illness first to be able to treat it. Or it's like, let's say there's a guy named Jose again, he's struggling with pornography, right? And he has a lust addiction where every single night he just watches porn, right? How the heck is he supposed to pray to God like Jesus set me free if he can't identify first that he has an issue? So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's like this is a very beautiful thing that they're legally identifying them as mentally ill because they literally need help. They need help and they cannot get help unless they first realize that they're mentally ill. So, I mean, I know people are going to get offended in the alphabet community, but this is just reality. These are facts, whether we like it or not. Facts do not care about our feelings. I hope this video was edifying. If this video was edifying for you, please smash the like button, share it with someone that you think could learn from it. And I hope that you guys enjoy. God bless.